taking the back from turtle. So there's this very common problem white belts have where they know they're supposed to get this one hook, the near side, or as you would say, the bottom side, because it will be the bottom side when we move positions. And then they can't, and then they go, well, what about that other side? And then they try to throw their leg over, and they can't get it either. So why don't you show what that looks like?
So I'll sit up a little bit. The first thing to do is like, I cheat, and every time I really make an effort to get this grip. So I'm getting my forehand is gonna get a cross lapel grip, nice and low here, and then this gives me a lot of torque over Matt. So if Matt is in turtle, and then here I can start driving into Matt, and I'm gonna start pushing his elbow and his knee in as I start pulling him to his side. I can also, could we come this way? I wanna isolate this leg here. So I'm gonna bump Matt forward and I'm gonna step in here, right? And then I have the grips, and here my knee is shoving it forward. I'm blocking his arm, and now I block his leg, and then make Matt fall on top of me, and now I can switch my feet here. And his foot's caught. I'm gonna be able to get his bottom hook. Now, the big mistake people make is they get in similar positions to this, and then try to get this hook in. If Matt's hips are higher than my hips, this is really hard. I don't care how flexible you are. So then all you have to do is put your foot on the ground and the hips get up, so my knee can get as high as his shoulder. That's like the rule of thumb. If your hips keep enough where you're high on the shoulder, it's even easier, because now I can insert this. I can go up and down at an angle. One more time, up, down at an angle. If I have to, I can wiggle this in. So I just go toe, heel, toe, heel, toe, heel until it goes in. And now I have a very strong back control, and I can start attacking, and I'm in the correct side for gi jiu-jitsu, where if he goes out that way, he just clears that hook, I can just come up and go to the bow and arrow and go like the double cradle.
Still in my life. So, with what do you think of when white belts are still in the turtle and they're like the guys on knees and they try to throw the leg over the back?
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about?
I know. So,
you know.
I know. So as tempting as it is, I mean, like we all want to go like, ha, and you just get our hooks in, but this never works out very well. And then what happens most of the time is, especially if we get like one hook in, what usually happens, we get like the near hook, and then we start trying to get this hook from here. All Matt has to do as this is coming in is just turn into me. We're gonna do a full roll and we'll have in half guard.
Even worse is when you have no hook, and then you're like this, so the other side is not even in, and you're like, I'm gonna take the, and then you just get stuck here, throwing this foot too far. Cause look where I am, I'm way over here. And even if I got my foot in, like, what would it do? I need, yeah.
That's the other thing is like sometimes like this scramble happens and then you give up your back.
Yeah. So that's like this weird spot you don't want to be in, where you're just sitting there going, trying to throw the foot in. You work on that near side. And it's true, like, the problem is probably, it's hard to get this hook in. If you're just sitting there doing nothing, like you're like, I can't do that, but I see here, maybe I could do this. So Nelson's setup doesn't have you have to get the hook in from this spot, but you start setting it up so once you tip them, you will. You don't want to do, also people do this. They go here and then they like, pull them to here and immediately lose it. Because this hook I got in first, even if I got it, doesn't control the rotation we care about. It lets him just keep spinning the way he's okay to spin. So what he showed earlier, catching the ankle, tipping, torquing, and then you can get the good hook in, bottom hook. Then the top hook, like, you don't even always need it.
No.
It does help to have it for certain finishes, but
Also gives you 4 points.
sure helps get 4 points. But you can control people with the bottom hook once you tip them.
Yeah. And then the other thing too is that we need to realize, like if we look at pinning sports, so like wrestling, sambo, judo, if you watch those guys fighting, like, there's turnovers. You can win by people turning on their back. Mm-hmm. If you watch people fighting getting turnover, a lot of times, this is what it looks like. They are nice and wide, they're defending, And judo is a little bit different because they're gonna be here and just keeping their arms in and like their neck in because there's only like so much time to work. But in jiu-jitsu, we need to realize if I'm like super narrow and I'm just defending chokes and hooks, it's really easy for me to get turnover. And then it's a lot easier to attack from here. Not everyone has a good like side turtle game.
Yeah.
They need to get their Prit Mikkelsen on.
There's a whole category of moves that don't get taught too often, which are just turning people on their side, flipping people over when they're in turtle.
Yeah.
Rather than trying to take their back or set up fancier things, you just go blurp and do things to just tip them over again.
Yeah.
Go look them up.